Tonight from world-famous Rupp Arena, it's college basketball's opening night as the number 2 ranked Kentucky Wildcats host Stephen F. Austin. The Cats again stacked with outstanding freshman talent. They are deep and eyeing another trip to the Final Four. Happy opening night to you, everybody. Great to have you with us here at Rupp Arena. I'm Dave O'Brien, my partner Doris Burke. I can't think of a better place, I know you can't, to launch college basketball season.
The perfect venue, one of the nation's most historic programs, and yet another elite recruiting class. And like last year, John Calipari will start a contingent of 3 guards, De'Aaron Fox, Isaiah Briscoe, and Malik Monk. They can wreak havoc defensively. But unlike last year, Dave, they've got a 6'10", 260-pound rim-running monster in Bam Adebayo. That low-post presence can help this team get to a Final Four.
He is a grown man. He is in that starting lineup for Kentucky. Let's give you a look at that tonight in the opener. Fox, Monk, Adebayo, all freshmen. Briscoe, an excellent defender. Derek Willis is a senior. And for the Lumberjacks, Dallas Cameron is a senior guard. He's been to 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments. Holyfield at 6'8", Gilmore at 6'7". Kyle Keller, the first-year head coach for Stephen F. Austin, taking on Kentucky, the number 2 ranked team in the country. Here at Rupp Arena, a winning streak of 37 consecutive games. We are set for the opening tip. A sellout expected here tonight, here in Lexington. And we're underway as the Cats win the opening tip, and the college basketball season has been launched.
And SFA opens man-to-man. I think you'll see them play some 3-2 zone and test the shooting ability of the Wildcats.
Malik Monk, the freshman, getting off the first shot attempt for Kentucky. And here's Kennett. A shove off the ball that was away from Kennett. And a quick foul here against the Cats. John Calipari, his 8th year here. Hall of Famer. And another tremendous recruiting class. That foul will go against Bam, the big freshman at 6'10". As you mentioned, 6'10", 260. So he comes in as a grown man. And a quick theft here. The turnaround. Fox comes away with it. Exceptionally quick down the lane, going for the lay-in, and draws the foul. And hits the deck on the baseline.
So immediately you see the quick hands on the defensive end and the blazing speed of De'Aaron Fox. I mean, they compare this guy to John Wall in terms of that elite level, turn the corner, get your shoulders by and attack the rim. What pressure this guy can put on your defense in the open floor.
Well, he has been called the top point guard of the incoming class out of Houston's Cypress Lakes High School, where he was a McDonald's All-American and the Texas Gatorade Player of the Year. He scored 25 in one of the Cats' exhibition wins and drops that in.
How about they put up 156 points in an exhibition win? This is a fun group to watch. Yep. Athletic, fast. Briscoe adds the toughness. Bam, the imposing physical frame. There's a lot to like about the way this roster is constructed.
Charles, long range, but off target. A quick rebound underneath and right back up, and a whistle. As Gilmore, the 6'7" junior from Houston, went to work on the glass.
Well, and if you think back to SFA under Brad Underwood, who of course has moved on to Oklahoma State and will try to get some winning going in Stillwater again like they have not seen since Eddie Sutton was there. This is a program that made its living on the backboards.
Adebayo with his 2nd personal foul in less than a minute. So he is going to have to exit. And Calipari will go to the bench here and bring on Isaac Humphries.
And yesterday at practice, this is so interesting to me because Calipari said to Brooke and I, he said, I am somewhat concerned about early foul trouble for Adebayo. Here's why. For a month, we've been incredibly physical with each other in practice.
Briscoe wants to run. Quick dish here. Here's Monk open. Humphries, big rebound, but has it ripped out of his hands by Kennett.
So they had been letting him get so physical, and yesterday in practice he gets 2 quick ones, and Cal made the point, go sit down. So already sort of playing out as Cal had been afraid of.
Well, T.J. Holyfield knocking down that 3. He's a sophomore coming up a very nice freshman season and one of the better shooters for the Lumberjacks. Willis is open. And a whistle underneath. And they're going to get Charles of Stephen F. Austin. We'll go with SFA, I think, the rest of the way for the Lumberjacks, and that'll be his first personal.
He was trying to contend with a very physical Isaiah Briscoe on the weak side of the floor.
Humphries looking for a guard and threw it away. And it's on the baseline instead. On the sideline there with 18:36 to go here in the first half. And SFA with the lead here by 1 point. Fox out high, directing traffic. Wildcats going 27-9 last year, 13-5 in the SEC, and winning the conference for the 47th time. And another whistle that'll go against Holyfield. So a flurry of whistles as the play is choppy here inside the first couple of minutes. His second personal.
Some of the same points of emphasis in men's college basketball. Freedom of movement, post play. There's some contact in the post. Nice finish by Willis.
Takes the hit, and he'll be at the line for a three-point play. That'll go against Kennett, his first.
This is the kind of guy you wonder how he's going to perform, because he's as confident in a Kentucky jersey as he's ever been. He can make threes, which is something that I think is a concern for the staff and certainly will be tested over the year. And you hope that the young man is matured. He's a Kentucky product. The fans want him to succeed.
They get a very nice hand when his name was announced among the starters. Charles trying to penetrate. He's sealed off. Here's Gilmore, and a traveling violation. Now the Lumberjacks went 28-6 last year, 18-0 in the Southland Conference, and went to the NCAA tournament like Kentucky, losing in the second round, but 3 consecutive years. This is a bona fide program. Fox launching, can't hit.
Listen, Brad Underwood in the last 3 years, 89-14, 53-1 in the Southland Conference. And Kyle Keller, you know, you're talking about a guy who steps in. It's his first head coaching job since he was at Tyler Junior College. And listen, he's got 9 guys on his roster who have not scored a Division I basket. 9.
Well, they've been known for in-your-face defense and a lot of back cuts. He wants to go with more of a post approach.
Yeah, well, think about who some of his mentors are, right? He worked for Eddie Sutton. Oh, this could be a highlight.
Well, Monk bumped and hit inside the lane with 18:02 to go. Augustin will pick up the personal, his first. And so Fox to put it in on the baseline. Kentucky all-time in season openers, 94-19. And Monk with a miss. Stephen F. Austin out of the state of Texas, an enrollment of about 12,000. Gilmore will swing it here for Charles. He's a left-handed shooter. He can get hot. He's a returning starter. Kennett with a nice feed on the baseline, powering up. Huntley had trouble with it. He's denied, and it'll go the other way. It'll be Kentucky ball.
Well, just a terrific close on the post-entry pass. And Willis, I believe, got the first twice on the pipes. Little drop passes. Humphries is forced to step up, and it is. Willis gets the block.
Huntley picking up his first personal. So it'll be Willis at the line already. The 6'9" senior who started 11 games as a junior, averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds a game. And he hits the first one. Now, Kentucky last year led the SEC in scoring at close to 80 points per game. It was a very efficient offense.
What do you think about the year Tyler Willis had? You think about the game where Coach Cal gets ejected, and it was our crew covering it, and they talked about the assistant coaches saying, well, Tyler's got the offense, we'll focus on the defense. That's how much in command of this team Tyler Willis was.
Charles trying to bounce underneath, and that one rolls away back to the Cats. They want to attack. Monk quick to the baseline. Willis trying to back in to turn around. That rolls in. Very nice touch.
And remember, this is a guy who made 7 threes in a game a year ago, and how differently he seems to be comporting himself. He's holding himself like a guy who belongs at Kentucky, Dave.
Well, he already has 7. So he's off to an outstanding start, and a 9-3 lead here for the Cats.
Yeah, 6'9", 228 pounds. This is a guy who's known as a face-up three-point shooter, somebody who could stretch the floor. How about the ability to put it on the deck and then go to his low post game, a little jump hook over that left shoulder. I mean, that is really nicely done.
You may recall it last year in a standing game against Tennessee, had a 25-point game against the Vols, so he can do that.
You know, one of the things Coach Calipari was telling us when we were here for Kentucky's open practice when they had all the NBA scouts is Derek Willis has matured to the point where this guy is the first one at the gym and the last one to leave. It's an amazing thing when you put the time in as a basketball player, the results you get.
Now the Wildcats with more victories since Coach Cal arrived here than any program in the country. 217 wins to Kansas, 216 victories. Augustin, a freshman, running the point. He's jet quick. Shot clock down to 10. Kinnett. The swing here for Charles. Left-handed shooter, shot clock down to 3, and blocked by Willis, who's having an outstanding start.
How about his first 3.5 minutes for Derek Willis? Yeah, the question was, as a full-time starter, could he step up and deliver? Get down in a stance and stay in front of your man. That is so nice. That's his second block early.
Kinnett had to force it up there. The tip is going to roll in. So they'll give Gilmore that basket on an outstanding tip. Jump hook is going to fall in here. Nicely done by Humphries, the 7-footer.
You know what my favorite part of that was? He ran the floor early. He got into low post position. He showed the numbers to his teammate, and he asked for the basketball. He actually verbalized, "Get me the ball. Hey."
Gilmore with the swing. Here's Kinnett. Charles with a jumper. Knocks it down. Nice mid-range game for the junior from Kennedale, Texas. Willis on the attack. Quick move and another whistle, and he'll go to the line.
You just feel his confidence growing with every play.
Well, he has taken over this first half.
Derek Willis just flat doing work from Mount Washington, Kentucky. You said it. He got a loud ovation. They want this kid to do well. Put it on the deck. Use the left hand. Go ahead, Derek.
Well, Kentucky with the 13-7 lead against Stephen F. Austin. Brooke Weisbrod is also with us here tonight on the sideline. Let's go to Brooke.
That's right. Well, here at Kentucky, senior leadership often comes in the form of a sophomore season. Isaiah Briscoe has embraced that role, and today at shoot-around, Coach Calipari told us how much his physical and competitive spirit has helped get him to this point. Briscoe's the last guy to leave the gym. He lifts the most. He gets the most lane touches on offense. And defensively, he's a completely different guy than who he was in high school. I talked to him about that, and he told me how much he loved learning about defense, about how to use angles, and of course, how much fun it is to shut down your opponent. He also said how much pride he takes in knowing that Coach Cal will look at him and say, "Isaiah, go guard that guy. We don't want him to score anymore."
You know, maybe the best part about that defense Brooke is talking about is in the early part of the season, De'Aaron Fox and Briscoe were placed on opposite teams, and they were going head-to-head every single day in practice. Can only elevate the play of both guys.
Another big hand for Willis. What a half for him. 10 points already. And deserving of a bit of a breather here as Wenyan Gabriel, one of the outstanding freshmen, comes in at a backcourt foul.
You know, listen, Derek will be thrilled about the 10 points. I think the defensive plays are what will make that staff happy.
The 2 blocks.
The 2 blocks, correct.
So Kentucky doubling up the Lumberjacks to this point. De'Aaron Fox just picked up that foul, and Coach Cal did not look all that delighted with it. Gilmore with the swing. Cameron trying to feed underneath. Trying to go to the big fella, and the traveling violation.
Really good defensive position by Humphries. He just went chest to chest, walled him off, and forced the travel.
5 turnovers already for the Lumberjacks. Grujic, a 7-footer from Serbia. And part of that new plan to attack inside the post. And a reach and another foul. A lot of whistles here early, as you might expect in the season opener.
It'll be very interesting now with De'Aaron Fox out of the basketball game. Does Briscoe get his first opportunities on the offensive end? Will he be the lead guard with Hawkins? I think that's an interesting thing to develop. You've got a lot of guys who can push ahead. And I think the most important thing I've seen early from this group has been an unselfish nature. If you have elite level talent with an unselfish vibe, I'm telling you, your ceiling is super high.
Well, Isaiah Briscoe with another one coming, the sophomore from Newark. Also a very good rebounder. He grabbed about 5 rebounds a game from that guard position last year. And Kentucky really shooting it from that line. 8 for 8. Cameron back for Gilmore. And another reach. They'll get Monk for the foul with 15:03 to go in the half, and that'll be number 1 on the freshman from Arkansas. Sasha Kalia-Jones coming on, the 6'10 freshman from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And a McDonald's All-American with a 7'2 wingspan. That's the best on the team. Harris looking inbound, and does, for Cameron. One of the seniors they will really rely on at SFA all season long. Gilmore fires way downtown off the back of the iron. They'll get a second look. Traylor's a guy who can really shoot the 3 for them. Probably their best perimeter man. Trying to get inside that lane. He spins it up and in for 2. Nice move.
Well, we want to have to make a living on that kind of shot. Kentucky was putting tremendous pressure on, basically saying, go ahead, dribble, drive, bias.
Hawkins back for Briscoe. Thought about the 3. The jump pass. Back out. Briscoe straight on. Can't bury that. Sasha with a miss in close. That'll roll to the baseline. And out it goes. With 14:04 to go in the half, and Kentucky will retain.
Let's watch the degree of difficulty on this shot. Kentucky up the pressure, gets the step, has to be creative at the rim. Traylor's actually got his shoulders opposite the rim. How about that? A little English to put it home.
Kentucky, the 8-time national champions, college basketball's all-time winningest team. Once again from the corner, Willis, but nothing there. Second effort, though. Briscoe thought about the lane, and he's sealed off. Sasha in the paint. Going for Willis, knocked away, and the theft by the Lumberjacks. Kennett, they love the way he can run the floor and shoot the ball, but they didn't love that. And on a run out, and one. Lenyon Gabriel at 6'9". Born in Sudan and comes by way of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yeah, they like him off the bench. He can get to the 3 spot. Again, another strip, live ball turnover, getting the Wildcats out and running. This is the kind of play you've got to avoid against a team that could be explosive offensively. Open floor, one-on-one opportunity, and Gabriel, no doubt.
Leon Harris with the foul, his first. Gabriel short, big battle for the rebound. Humphries rips it away and sticks it.
I'll tell you, this kid is only 18 years of age. His physical frame is drastically different from a season ago. And I'll tell you this, the more experience that guy gets, the bigger nightmare and headache he's going to be for opponents.
He's down about 15 pounds from a season ago on a crossover. Gilmore gave it up, though. Fox back in to run the offense, trying to take it strong. Tough angle there, but knocked away. And back over to the Lumberjacks.
Little offensive rebound. Humphries takes it away, gets a little touch on it, And then on the defensive end, how about this little rotation over, just gets the hands up. It's amazing how much leaner and faster he looks, Humphries.
Cameron gives it up for Traylor. He's been pretty quiet here in the early going in the first half. Holyfield a follow away. Nice touch.
Oh, I'll tell you, they've had to make a couple of tough shots. That's a pretty good defense there by Humphries.
Willis trying to feed Humphries there, and a reach and a foul against Stephen F. Austin. They have boasted the last 4 conference player and coach of the year award winners. Holyfield will pick up his 3rd foul. And the 6'8" sophomore, very important scorer and rebounder for them, in some trouble.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, listen, that last move he made, this is a guy who hated to post up when he first got to SFA. It was a big hit to their offense.
Samuli Nieminen, who is a 6'7" freshman from Finland. They call him Big Sam, now into the ball game for SFA. And a rebound on the baseline by Ty Charles. They were wondering if he was going to get significant minutes because of a right shoulder injury. But he's playing a lot here in the first half.
Well, it wasn't cleared until Monday of this week. Hasn't been full contact until the last couple of days, Charles.
The swing for Cameron. Going to drive that paint. Boy, Humphries with some terrific defense there on the outlet. Fox back for Gabriel and the stuff. An outstanding fast break basket by the Cats. Get used to seeing that. Traylor airborne and draws the foul. He gets hit with 11:38 to go in the half.
Off the dribble drive, you're going to get welcomed into Rupp Arena by yet another block shot by Humphries. It turns the Cats loose. De'Aaron Fox, throw it up, send it home. When
SEC Network Basketball is brought to you by Cooper Tire. Visit CooperTire.com or a Cooper Tire dealer today. Doris Burke and Dave O'Brien with it, and Kentucky playing some outstanding defense early, a 23-11 lead over Stephen F. Austin. We've been talking about the schedule, and it is a killer schedule with Michigan State not too far down the road.
And how about this young group opens with 3 games in 5 days? When I asked Coach Cal why, he said, well, obviously before you play the caliber of Michigan State, you're trying to get a couple under your belt. You've got a UCLA team that's got year 4 of Steve Alford, obviously some pressure there, and a North Carolina team who I think is going to be really good before it's all said and done. 6 guys return off their national championship game appearance last year. And of course, losing to Villanova. But I really I thought Joel Berry was one of the elite guards by the end of the year last season. And I can't wait to see how he plays this year.
Kentucky up by 10 here in the early going at Rupp Arena. Coming in as the number 2 ranked team in the country. Briscoe on the wing, trying that baseline.
Yeah, now you're seeing the 3-2 zone, and Kentucky will try to put 3 on the bottom and break it, but make the jumper on the initial hit. You're all right.
Gabriel really settling in his initial minutes here, showing he can do it on the iron and outside.
You've got a lot of versatility with this roster. Look at the size you're playing at your 3, 4, and 5. Willis, Gabriel, and Humphries.
Charles denied, and look at the active feet there by Willis. Gilmore with the drive with that left hand. It won't roll in. And mishandled. So the Lumberjacks will keep it with 10:49 to go. Again, they went 18-0 in the Southland Conference last year, so they ran the table. But a very young team coming back. They lost the player of the year in their conference, Thomas Walkup, to graduation. That's a big loss. That's 18 points a game.
How about he'll open up tonight for the Chicago D-League team. So his former team opens and he opens.
Traylor with a 2-pointer on the way. That missed badly. Briscoe wants to run. Kentucky always does, and a little too much there. Trying to lead Willis up on top of the rim. Quick dish here. Underneath for two. Nicely done. Gilmore, the 6'7" junior with the basket.
Love the unselfish play.
So they do not get back defensively, and Briscoe makes them pay.
Pretty much what you might expect in an opening game. Some turnovers, some poor defensive floor balance, and I think we're going to get a hole maybe on Briscoe.
Foul may go against Ty Charles.
Checking in for Kentucky is Sasha Jones.
With 10:09 to go, Stephen F. Austin program summary. They will get Charles for that one. 28-6. 3 consecutive NCAA appearances. In fact, they knocked off West Virginia in the first round last year before losing to Notre Dame.
That's correct. It took a tip-in at the end of the game for them to pow out.
Last 5 years averaging 27 wins. Let's go to the paint. Very tough angle. Kind of forced that shot. 7-footer in the game. Grujic for Stephen F. Austin. Very tough defensively here in the first half. Trying to get a little bit closer, long range, but that won't drop in. Willis continues to have a brilliant first half. Fox tiptoeing. A little too much.
So I've been talking about how unselfish they are. That's 2 consecutive plays, and we saw Fox force the issue early. And it just could be early season, but there's been some times where their guards, I thought, could have held their dribble, pulled it back out, and run a set.
3 turnovers now for the Cats. They lead it 27-15. Grujic looking inside, now swings it. Here's Charles. Shot clock down to 9. And another whistle off the ball here.
I think we might get a 3-second violation on Grujic.
3 seconds in the lane. Tom Keller taking over for Brad Underwood, who left for Oklahoma State. Keller was an assistant the last 5 years at Texas A&M. He also had stops at Oklahoma State and Kansas.
Worked for Eddie Sutton and Bill Self.
You said that Coach Self did call him earlier in the week to wish him luck. He said, remember, when I was coaching at Oral Roberts, I lost 22 consecutive games. So no matter what happens tonight, just think about that. 22 in a row at one point.
You're talking about a guy who's got 25 years of college basketball experience. He said during the season, last year at Texas A&M, he said to his wife, it's time. You know, I need to be a head coach again.
They got Neiman in for the personal, put Briscoe at the line, but he misses on the first one.
This group he's got some depth. I think when he gets healthy, this is a team they picked second in the Southland for the first time in several years. Sam Houston State has picked to win it. But I think before it's all said and done, this is a team that could easily win that conference.
Well, they're used to winning, too. They've won 89 games the last 3 years, as you mentioned. 6th best in Division I.
And you know what? There's something about the culture of winning, right? When your kids expect to win.
Shot clock down to 12 on a tough drive. Nifty basket there by Traylor, the 6'4" junior. It's getting back, though. Fox tries to stick the jumper, but can't do it. So now in transition, the Lumberjacks trying to inch a little bit closer, 28-17 here in the first half. Charles dumping it inside. Tough move and heavy traffic by Neiman, but can't get it to go. On the run, Hawkins. And back up top for the freshman Fox. His fall away. Too strong. Willis with another rebound. And thrown away. Aaliyah Jones, but right back at a collision. Neiman goes down. Traylor comes away with it.
First to the floor. Black jerseys come away with a loose ball there. And you can see what they're doing defensively. They're giving a cushion to Kentucky and saying, go ahead and beat me from the outside.
Well, that's exactly what Cameron does there, way downtown with the 3. And that has made this a 28-20 ball game here in the first half. Well, Stephen F. Austin getting right back in this basketball game with a couple of quick hoops here and trail at 28-20.
This is his second tough drive. He is going into size. Creative, doesn't have a great angle, but somehow finds his way to the basket. And then how about this? Go ahead, make that jumper, Mr. Cameron. And they are within 8 and have some momentum.
So Kentucky, the number 2 ranked team in the country, maybe getting an early test here. I don't think many people considered that the Lumberjacks have been a proven commodity. Certainly in their conference in the Southland, they have been the best team for a while.
No question. And they're playing Kentucky exactly as opponents are going to play them. They put in this 3-2 zone this week, and you can see they're sagging, they're gapping, and they're challenging Kentucky to make shots.
Well, there's another outstanding defensive play as Gilmore got a piece of that jump shot by Mulder. Shot clock now at 12. Fox into the paint. Tough move for 2.
I tell you, that's one way to beat a zone. Drive the gap. And that's exactly the spot in the 3-2. When the ball is getting moved, those are the gaps you can hit.
Fox scored over 3,000 points in high school out of Houston, Texas. Here's Gilmore now, the junior. He's also from Houston. Straight on. That won't drop for him. Humphries out fighting everybody for the rebound. Fox, terrific pass. Hawkins couldn't finish that. They'll get a second effort.
Better patience, though, by Fox with the ball in his hands.
Willis has certainly been the star in the first half of the entry. Back outside, Mulder. Yes! He knocks in a 3.
Now, he started the year in practice making a lot of shots, and that would be a welcome sight if Mulder could shoot it like that all year.
And they're going to send Jovan Grujic, the 7-foot sophomore from Serbia, off. Maybe I see a cut there or some blood on that arm. So he has to be attended to. Stoppage in play with 6:32 to go in the first half.
Checking at the is number 24, Solomon Mulder.
Now, Brooke, you were in the Kentucky huddle just a couple of moments ago. What did you hear?
Well, Doris, you had talked about De'Aaron Fox forcing the issue before the timeout. After the timeout, you saw the difference. He got to the rim. He made plays for his teammates, and that was exactly the message. Hey, we know you're fast, but this isn't a speed type of game. Make a play, find the rim. Well, lots of teaching moments to this young group during timeouts, guys.
He got inside the free throw line, and his pace was just slightly slower. And that allowed that cutter to go backdoor on the baseline side of that zone. He put it on the money.
And now Gabriel will come back on, and Willis will take a seat. 6'9" senior has really carved up SFA here in the first half. Dallas Cameron, and so much of what they do this season for the Lumberjacks will run through this guy. Here's Traylor with a long one. Yes, he knocks in the three-pointer.
Amazing, right? You get your first couple drives to go, then the jumper flows a little bit easier.
And Isaiah Traylor now has 9. He's going to be their top three-point man, but he can also drive it. Very quick first step. Fox airborne, yes, with the one-hander.
He's made some tough shots. It is not an easy look. Remember, Kyle Keller is a guy who, under Bill Self, the triangle and 2, just change your look a little bit defensively.
Traylor draws the foul. Is that going to go? It won't. It pops out as he takes the hit.
Foul is on Hawkins. That's his first in the team's.
And it'll be Hawkins' first personal.
A little high screen for Fox. It's just the pace is just a little bit different. Mix your speeds as a point guard. Come off that screen, that nice little floater.
He had 30 points or more 20 times as a senior in high school. He had a 50-point game as well. He can really fill it. Traylor, difficult shot. The tip won't go. Neiman trying to bull his way in close, and he banks in 2.
Boy, terrific job on the glass. Multiple efforts. Humphries, one thing that Brad Underwood stressed, he always wanted to know how many more field goal attempts did we get? Because how hard am I going to the offensive glass?
Even a really tough D, but it comes free to Humphries. Another block. And a tie-up on the play, and it'll go the other way on the possession arrow. So we're really seeing excellent defense on both sides.
Excellent. This got his teammates up and off the bench. How about that rejection? My goodness gracious, 2 right at the rim. Terrific defense.
Well, that was Nathan Bain who came out of nowhere, number 23 for the Lumberjacks, an outstanding leaper. He was 16 years old. He was a candidate for the Bahamian high jump Olympic team.
And he and Huntley both were in the concussion protocol. Both didn't get cleared. So you talk about guys who haven't had a ton of practice time.
Gilmore trying to back inside. He's denied. Back out for Bain. Shot clock down to 6. Gilmore, and that's going to be an offensive foul. A little bit out of control for the 6'7" junior.
The penalties on Gilmore. That's his
Gabriel did a nice job sliding his feet and coming over.
Number 2 on Gilmore.
Yeah, just square up your chest defensively and make sure you sell it.
SFA will bring back on Josh Huntley, another one who missed a lot of practice time because of concussions. They've had a lot of injury trouble.
You haven't had Charles. You haven't had 3 of your top 8 rotation guys working consistently in the preseason. So, I mean, I think if you're Kyle Keller, you've got to be thrilled with the start of your team. In this environment,
No doubt about it. Gabriel's really come off the bench and given Kentucky an excellent first half here now with 8 points. And a reach in. You're going to get Mulder, I believe, on that foul. It will be his first on the reach. 4:21 to go in the half. And so Bain will be at the line. A sophomore from Freeport, Bahamas. And knocks in the first one.
well, we had Kyle Keller telling us earlier at shoot-around, 9 guys, no Division I baskets. The road trip was in and of itself an experience for many of these guys, a lot of junior college transfers.
He said he was listening in the hallway last night to some of his players talk about this experience coming to Kentucky. They were talking about, oh, what we're going to do, what we're going to do. And then, you know, I'm going to get a couple autographs while I'm here. You know, because these guys are already famous. These freshmen, including Fox, who gives it up here for Gabriel. Denied on the baseline. Briscoe, the open man, and one. He'll go to the line here. He went to that left hand and knocked in the basket and took the contact. Looking for a 3-point play. Huntley with the foul.
Well, just great reversal, right? The ball is going to change sides of the floor. Really good job by Gabriel to get the pressure release to the opposite side, and then physically. Isaiah Briscoe can take on a lot of guys with size and athleticism because he is so physically tough and strong.
You mentioned it watching Kentucky in practice the last couple of days, the unselfishness that you've been impressed with.
I have, and it's interesting. I think it has to do with this being the first game. I think Fox and Briscoe have at times forced the issue, but it's so early in the season. And I think I'd rather dial my guys back than have them not be aggressive.
Huntley underneath. Very difficult shot. Well defended again. Humphries right there. Briscoe airborne. One-hander up and in. What a pretty move.
Yeah, see, everybody knows that he wants to get off the dribble drive, and it doesn't matter. He's that tough-minded.
He has 9 in the first half.
Yeah, just toughness, competitive spirit, something Brooke was talking about in the open when she was talking about this guy. You know he wants to get to the rack. How about the slithery ability to get by?
Guys, thank you very much. Hey, college football coming up tomorrow noon. Kentucky and Tennessee at 3:30. Vandy and Missouri at 7:30. SEC Saturday night. That's Ole Miss and number 8 Texas A&M. All 3 games streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Well, so which of those 2 teams, Ole Miss or Texas A&M, both of whom lost their starting quarterbacks this past week, can get adjusted quickly? Chad Kelly out with the ACL tear, and Trevor Knight, who had been amazing running the ball from the quarterback spot, out for the season with a shoulder injury. Which team gets adjusted most quickly?
Well, Kentucky with their biggest lead of the first half, 41-27. And another whistle with 3:06 to go.
A couple good points by the guys back in the studio. Antoine Walker was talking about the turnovers Kentucky has forced, 13. And again, you don't want to allow Kentucky, a young team, one that doesn't have its execution down right now, probably to the level it will be later, to play in the open floor. They're too fast, they're too creative with the ball, they've got too much speed. But to Dane's point, when they haven't turned them over, it's been problematic for them to make stops. SFA is shooting 48% thus far.
Briscoe with his first foul a moment ago to put Traylor at the line. And he buries the first one, the junior college transfer. And you may recall that tragic plane crash that claimed the lives of 2 Oklahoma State players, 6 members of the coaching staff and broadcasters 15 years ago in a snowstorm. We were talking with Kyle Keller. He was on Eddie Sutton's staff at that time. He told us a chilling story today of how it was not uncommon for Coach Sutton to change seating assignments. They had 2 different aircraft, remember, and he actually changed Keller's seating assignment. He said, well, you've got the scout for Colorado. You get on the quicker jet. It's going to get home about 20 minutes, a half hour earlier. We need you to get to work. He was actually replaced on that flight, that fateful flight, by his own cousin. The flight that went down, of course, in that amazing tragedy. He pulled him off the plane. Eventually, that plane would go down. It was Keller who had the grim task of telling his aunt and uncle about the crash.
I didn't realize that. I knew he had been an assistant at Oklahoma State. It wasn't until he told us that story, and you can tell he has great perspective. You know, he's paid his dues in the profession. It's been a long time since he was the head coach at Tyler Junior College. And did you not have the sense of how blessed he felt, how grateful he was for this opportunity?
Oh, yes. No question did that come through. And he feels he's in the place he's supposed to be.
Well, this is a Dallas, Texas native. He has established his reputation as an assistant coach as one of the outstanding recruiters in the game. They've signed a terrific class. What you love about this program is you come in, and he noted this, there's already a culture of winning. There is a commitment from the administration to the sport of basketball. So all of the pieces you could hope for at SFA are there.
Traylor now with 12 points to lead the Lumberjacks in scoring. They continue to hang around, 13 points behind. Hawkins trying to free up somebody inside on the drive now, and it's tipped and stolen away. Stephen F. Austin on the attack now. Traylor with the kick. And Charles as they turn it over.
Yeah, just keep in mind on SEC Network Plus, one of the outstanding women's teams in the country, which tipped at 7 o'clock. You can watch it on the ESPN app. Matthew Mitchell, who's got one of the outstanding players in the country, Michaela Epps. You and I will call the women all the way through to the national championship. I'm anxious to see that Kentucky women's team. Yeah, there's been a couple of times for Matthew Mitchell, Dave, had he not been in Connecticut's region and had to play Connecticut in Connecticut, that could have been a Final Four run for him.
I agree. A lot of talent. 7th turnover now for the Wildcats, who lead it by 13. Here on opening night, 150 schools opening up in Division I across the country.
I'm glad they put us here at Rupp.
You and me both. Always a treat. No better place to be. And Niemanen will pick up that foul. That will go against the Lumberjacks with 1:39 to go here in the first half. Humphries working on Niemanen. A nifty spin. Can't cash in there.
I'll tell you, that's twice, though. He has put it on the deck. He's used efficient movement to get himself to the rack. Maybe one more dribble in that instance.
He and Willis really impressive first halves. Traylor, and that's blocked by Humphries. Now into fast break. Briscoe with the look away, a collision there, and it'll go the other way. The foul against Kentucky.
I thought he had the drop pass. You want to talk about Humphries running the floor, and Humphries is drastically different condition. But look at, drop it. I know he feels that black jersey coming, but he waited just an instant too long. I thought he could have dropped it. And he had Wenyen Gabriel coming, and there's just been a couple of occasions for he and Fox. Hold your dribble. He could have escaped dribble back to the corner, let the floor open up a little bit, Dave.
Now Briscoe with his second personal. Inside the final minute of the opening half here at Rupp. And they throw it away. So back over to Kentucky it goes, and now turned it over 16 times. 48.7 to go before the break.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm impressed with Humphries. You know, he was joking earlier this season, Humphries, about how he would run maybe once or twice up and down the floor a season ago and get winded. And his stamina is drastically different.
He's dropped that weight. We talked about his mobility in the first half, how much better he looks. Mulder launches. That's a sweet touch from three-point land.
That's a pretty looking jumper.
6'4" senior knocking that one in. He has 6. So the lead up to 16 now for the Cats. Trailer for Cameron. Wants to fire it. It rattles in. That's a two-pointer. 46-32. Look at the quick strike. He's had an outstanding half, Gabriel. Right before the buzzer.
Yeah, nice job pushing the pace by Hawkins. Just a terrific job not to waste the opportunity. You catch your opponent sleeping. Look at how quickly he changes and splits the defenders. Gabriel does a nice job playing off his teammate.
Let's go to Brooke.
Well, Coach Cal, the first 20 minutes of this season are up. We heard you about halfway through talk about attack the rim, don't settle for jump shots. What do you think of your team's performance?
Yeah, I think those are two things, but we talked to Bam all week about not fouling. He fouled in the first minute and a half, 2 fouls. We talked to Malik Monk about chasing. He ran a gap and then fouled, got his second foul. We're running, we're not posting it enough. Let's see if we can get better.
Thank you.
Brooke, Coach Cal, thank you very much. So we're at halftime here at Rupp Arena, and Kentucky with the 48-32 lead as we join the studio for our halftime report. Kentucky building up a sizable lead at halftime, up by 16. The freshman Wenyen Gabriel and the senior Derek Willis, each of them with 10 points in the first 20 minutes. And Kentucky leads by 16. Doris Burke and Dave O'Brien with it. The two things I'm dying to see: Antoine Shimmy and Bam play some more minutes. He got in early foul trouble. We didn't see much of him.
Don't make me shimmy, Antoine. No, you're 100% correct. And Calipari told us yesterday at practice, I'm concerned we've been so physical. We want to see the big man with so much of that physically imposing frame and game on the floor. But I think if you're Kentucky, one, Derek Willis, if he can hold that starting spot, deliver the way he did on both ends of the floor for this Kentucky team, allow Wenyen Gabriel to be that lift off the bench, be that scoring punch, you can see a lot of things to like. I think they need to tighten up their defense once they don't turn the other team over. Executing their defense has been an issue.
Gabriel was big, 11 minutes, 10 points. Let's go to Brooke.
Well, I talked to Kyle Keller coming out of the locker room. I said, just give me one positive and one negative from the first half. He was really happy with the way his team shot. He was happy with how they rebounded. But, of course, the turnovers were the main point of emphasis in the locker room. He also talked a lot about the transition game.
Well, you're right. They turned it over 16 times, Brooke, and you can't be happy about that. But generally speaking, to hang in as long as they did, and it's not an absolute runaway at 16 points, he can't be unhappy.
I agree. 9 guys who have never scored a Division I basket. He had so many junior college transfers. He had health issues in the preseason. I think SFA comported themselves pretty well. The turnovers are product of the defense. You can see potentially from Kentucky. They've got length, they've got speed, unbelievable hands.
De'Aaron Fox, one of the outstanding freshmen for the Cats, had 6 assists in the first half. Talk about the block shots, and this is something that Cal has discussed over the summer that he believes this could be one of the better shot blocking teams that he has ever had here. They have 4 in the first half.
And at issue a season ago for Kentucky, right, was the lack of a post presence. Well, Humphries is better. Adebayo, he's going to play and hopefully stay out of foul trouble. And there's some versatility. Do you play Derek Willis as a stretch 4 or 3? Wenyon Gabriel at the 3 off the bench could be a great lift.
Adebayo back in, the 6'10 freshman. 2 quick fouls in the opening couple of minutes, and then he's sacked. Briscoe really played well for stretches on drives like that, but he can't get it. So Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks, on the attack now as Charles has it on the wing. That's going to be an offensive foul.
They get Holyfield quickly.
The foul is on Holyfield.
That's going to be his 4th personal foul. So no choice here. He has to come out. And they'll bring on the 7-footer, Grujic.
Coming out is Holyfield.
That can really run the floor, shoot it, and catch it. His minutes should be way up this year. He's a sophomore. 48-32 Kentucky, and the basketball. Willis coming off that outstanding first 20 minutes. The jumper on the way from the wing, but it's up and over the top of the backboard to go the other way. Also a foul on this play, on a shove underneath, and that'll go against Derek Willis. So he picks up the personal, and that's number 1. Well, the game got off to a choppy start, but a lot of whistles, a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers.
Pretty much what you'd expect.
Charles trying to dump it inside. Shot clock down to 7. Grujic gives it up for Charles. The wing jumper, too strong. Tried to follow that. He did. He batted it away right to Gilmore. Charles with a long one. That won't drop. Here's Gilmore. Denied. Willis again right in his grill. On a run, Monk. The alley-oop and the slam by the big fella. Bam!
Well, they dodge a bullet because they gave up multiple opportunities, but that shot blocking ability gets them out into the open floor. And you can expect a lot of that rim running from Bam Adebayo.
Hearing that nickname when he flipped the coffee table when he was a little one. His mom was watching an episode of the Flintstones, and that stuck. And a quick strike by Cadet. The 6'4" junior out of Lake Worth, Florida, can really do a lot of things to help them. But, you get into that racehorse style, you're going to get burned when you're facing Kentucky.
Wow, I mean, just the change in speed, the changing ends in such a short span of time. Do not sleep on De'Aaron Fox. If you're jogging back as a defender, you have your back to him, it's lights out.
Here's Cameron. Cadet launches. Off target. Here's Fox again. Briscoe lines it up. Got it!
And he missed a couple of jumpers in the first half. And one of the things Coach Calipari has talked to him about is don't hesitate. Just 1 for 3, but how confidently, how different that stroke looks from a year ago. He has put in the time.
All of a sudden, 55-34. That did not take long. And another whistle with 16:59 to go in the contest, and a sneaker off. So an official timeout.
Well, this is how quickly it can happen because of the defensive abilities. Willis, the 3rd block of the night. And again, it doesn't matter. Does it end up in De'Aaron's hands? No. Lob, dunk. And that's what they have. Just the push-ahead pass from Briscoe to Monk. The unselfish, and then again in transition, space to the 3-point line.
Boy, if this team starts hitting 3-pointers, they've only made a couple of them in the first half.
Yeah.
Shot clock at 10. Canet looking for help. Shot clock down to 5. Cameron way outside, trying to get in close against Fox. Shot clock is expiring as he flipped it up there, and they're going to count the basket. Just got it off in time.
Well, I'll tell you, they call this guy the glue for their team. He's had a couple of big buckets.
Fox calling out the play. Second half here on opening night. Over the top and another quick strike by Willis.
How about the nifty handle? That is just magical. That is a guy who's got the ball in the string. Between defenders.
Jeanette at the foul line. Back off for Cameron. 57-36 Kentucky, and another turnover here by the Lumberjacks. On the run, and a foul as well as Monk made it, and he'll be at the line for a three-point play.
Let's just watch a little Kentucky transition. They are not making mistakes. How about the nifty dribble, switching hands, throw it up to Derek Willis. And boy, the Cats are out and running. Monk, one of the elite athletes, the N1, Kentucky rolling. Kentucky rolling right now, and they're doing it without a superb performance from Malik Monk. He gets on the board with that last transition opportunity. Nice push ahead by Derek Willis. Off the catch, he goes right to the rack. And remember, this is a guy who won the three-point shooting contest at the McDonald's All-America game. Not only that, he's the runner-up in the dunk contest. So how about that combination of skills? How you're a runner-up with that kind of delivery. Let's watch it again. Yeah, this guy is an NBA-level athlete. Just 1 for 5, 0 for 2 from 3 tonight. But there are special things on the horizon for this young man.
With fun to watch him get in the sky, too. A 42-inch vertical at the line for a three-point play. The freshman from Arkansas, and gets that three-point. And now the Cats with some pressure deep in the backcourt, looking to force a turnover, but zipped across here to Traylor. Cameron steps into a three, but can't drain it. Mishandled, though, off Bam's fingertips and out of play.
He's just happy he's still on the floor.
Yeah. Well, John Calipari was saying at halftime, very first thing he said to Brooke was not he's delighted to be up by 16, but that his big man was in foul trouble, and they told him all week, stay out of foul trouble. 60-36.
Look at how Bam can guard on the perimeter. That's 6'10", 260.
Inside and a whistle in lane. The foul here will go against Kentucky with 15:32 to go. That'll go against Monk, and that'll be number 3. So a shooting foul, and it'll be Cameron at the line.
Hey, look at that frame on Bam Adebayo. When we were here for Kentucky Pro Day, I took one look at him and I thought, that's Dwight Howard.
And I think you're onto something there. If you compare them side by side, it's amazing.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you look at his traps, he looks bigger, okay? Look at that frame and how similar it is. And he's more skilled to me at that stage of his career than Dwight. You think about how long Dwight Howard had to work to become a legit scorer with his back to the basket, other than rim running, dunking.
Now, Bam, very popular, you should say, with his teammates.
Yeah.
He's a great kid. His teammates really love him. He's very upbeat, very friendly. He's a funny kid. On the entry pass, backing down, and they're going to get him for the foul.
See, I mean, he's posting hard. He's doing what you're taught, and you can hear the Kentucky crowd. Now, you're not allowed to displace, but to me, I mean, this is what you teach your post guys. And that's going to get Sasha Kalia-Jones up and off the bench. And I know post play is...
It's a point of emphasis.
It is, yeah. And listen, you are not supposed to displace the defender.
They will call it. They're going to lean on that in the early going in college basketball. Traylor way downtown. Great touch from three.
That guy's fearless. He is fearless and a natural scorer.
He has 15 points. A 20-point lead for the Cats. Fox, what a great pass there, and Briscoe finishes.
I'll tell you, he's one assist away from double-digit assists. What a great feel. Just after he's settled in, they're going to get him for a foul, but boy, he can apply some pressure defensively. Let's watch his handle. He had that nifty move. This time goes between the legs, gets a defender dancing. And he had that defender change directions twice. Look at that. That is pretty.
Just picked up his third foul, so he goes to the bench.
He and Adebayo go to the bench.
Briscoe went backward, no whistle. And now they force the turnover. Here's Briscoe again, the sophomore out of Newark, New Jersey. Willis, yes! A three on target. He has 15.
No hesitation. Just, I can't get over the confidence difference in Derek Willis.
And they're really looking for him to be a leader on this young team. He's doing it tonight. One-hander by Traylor off the mark and a whistle. It'll go the other way. On the shove against Stephen F. Austin.
Isaiah Briscoe going to come off the screen. He worked on that play yesterday, and Cal was saying to Derek, make sure you're staying spaced, that you're slotted down toward the corner.
Well, Huntley just picked up his fifth. A lot of talk that he might not even play after his issues with the concussion. Fox is back on with the 3 fouls. But Huntley has fouled out for the Lumberjacks. Fox to drive it, and the kick. Corner jump shot is around and out, and a rebound controlled by the Lumberjacks. Here's Charles on a difficult angle. It won't roll in, but tipped up and in by Niemanen. Jumper by Monk off the back iron. He's missed a couple. Charles wants to go quickly. And what great defense there by Fox to slap it away, and then it landed on the baseline.
Just quick hands, the length.
And Saturday at 10 a.m. SEC Nation presented by Regions Bank is live from Gainesville. Maria, Tim, Marcus, Paul, and Laura break everything down from the gridiron to the grill right here on the SEC ESPN network. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN.
That is fun. It's informative. It's entertaining. Maria Taylor does a great job hosting.
Humphries is wide open to stuff it.
I believe that's assist number 10. And every right read by De'Aaron Fox right now.
The McDonald's All-American, Texas Gatorade Player of the Year. He chose Kentucky over Kansas, Louisville, and LSU. And having a really strong first game. Harris. Fox goes diving and knocks it out of play.
I'll tell you this, the ability for that young man to get down into a defensive stance and show his length, but on the offensive end, they were up in pressure. And as soon as that defender backed off, how about that rocket? That is like a quarterback throwing a dart into the end zone. And Humphries, all he's got to do is go up and finish. You know what that is? That's making the game easy for your teammates.
And fun for the fans.
10 assists for De'Aaron Fox.
Look at the points in the paint. 34-14 Kentucky. Slithering inside for the basket is Leon Gilmore, the 6'7" junior. To make it 67-44. He's had a good rebounding night with 8. Fox threw that one away. Picked off by Charles. Gilmore underneath. An impossible angle and a whistle. 11:55 to go here in the second half.
The foul is
Gabriel will pick up the foul, and that will be his first. 67-44 Kentucky. Talk about the hostile home courts, the toughest places to win. Cameron Indoor Duke with 125 straight non-conference wins. Assembly Hall, 17-0 between 2015 and 16. Allen Fieldhouse under Bill Self. Kansas has gone 206-9. And how about Rupp Arena under John Calipari, 119-4 here.
Some of the great venues in all of college basketball, some of the proudest traditions. And I always talk about Big Blue Nation. It's always felt to me, Dave, like this fan base wants to be immersed in the milieu, into the nitty-gritty details of their program more so than any other I've ever been around.
Well, you and I were dining here in Lexington, terrific restaurant, Tony's, here last night. We were talking with one of our waiters, and he knew everything about the Cats, and that's no surprise here in Lexington. Everyone knows everything about the Cats. He wanted your opinion. Where's the offense coming from?
Right.
Who's the shooter? The combination of shooters.
Yeah, in fact, he picked up on our conversation when I was saying, who's the consistent deep ball threat? Because the great teams defensively are probably going to give this team a cushion. They get out of the gates 2 for 10 in the first half from three-point territory.
A collision and a foul on the play with 11:50 to go here in the second half.
And how about Bill Self? Allen Fieldhouse, one of those environments to me when I've been there, and it's rocking. It feels almost like that building is swaying, like it's somehow unsafe. And Bill Self is going to go for 13 as they get out, transition, and get a little bit closer.
And Gilmore with the sup.
Bill Self's going to go for 13 straight Big 12 titles this year.
Just amazing.
At one point, they're 2 games behind Oklahoma in the standings a year ago, and somehow win their 12th straight.
Fox already with 10 assists in his college debut, and another whistle. And he'll get Harris for that foul. And that'll be his third. A lot of fouls here by SFA tonight in his season opener. But back to the assists so far for Fox, the freshman. He has 10. The Kentucky record for assists in a game is 16 by John Wall back in 2009. That was against Hartford. So he could press that tonight if he plays enough. That's a really tough move by Briscoe as he drops in 2.
John Wall, one of those #1 picks out of Kentucky that John Calipari has had. And the guy most often compared with De'Aaron Fox in terms of their speed.
Shot clock at 10 now for the Lumberjacks. Trying to get inside for Gilmore. He banked it in, but no basket. A whistle before that. That was with 7 on the shot clock. And Hawkins will pick up the foul, and that'll be number 2 as we look at the #1 overall draft picks under Coach Cal.
Obviously an impressive list. And to me, Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Davis are, as long as they are healthy in their NBA careers, they are surefire Hall of Famers in my mind. I listened to Jeff Van Gundy say about Karl Anthony Towns in a preseason NBA game that before Cat is finished, because of his work habits, the kind of kid he is, he will go down as one of the all-time greats in NBA history, provided he stays healthy.
Well, Fox picked up the foul as he went hard to the basket. And that'll be foul number 2 on Augustin. You think there's a #1 on this roster?
Well, I'd like to see more of Bam Adebayo before I let you know that.
Stay in the game a little bit longer. He's had a couple of nice moments here in the second half after foul trouble right away.
But I will say this to you about Bam Adebayo, as you see where right now Chad Ford has the big board, and it's early, obviously.
It's really, really early.
It is. And Harry Giles, obviously there's some question marks about his health. We'll talk a little bit. Bam is down there at number 12. But here's what I like about Bam in the very limited minutes I've seen him in the Kentucky Pro Day. What's happening to the NBA? At least right now, it's gone smaller, and your bigs have got to be able to guard the perimeter. We've seen Bam at the three-point line down in a stance and physically able to move his feet in a way that makes you believe he can guard on the perimeter if necessary in the NBA.
He can move his feet, and he can move you out of the way if he wants to. And here's a nice save on the baseline as he gets hit. And a foul on Niemanen. with 10:20 to go.
And I just like that he doesn't appear to be a guy. Listen, they want to play through him in the post. You know, Cal intimated that to Brooke, but he wasn't on the floor. But he doesn't strike me as a guy who's not going to give it up should he get double teamed. That's not going to demand 15 shots, 20 shots a game. I mean, if that happens, great.
So Adebayo at the line. And shooting here with 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the contest, 71-48 Kentucky. And Kevon Harris, the freshman for the Lumberjacks, stepping to his bench.
Watch this form right here.
A lot of rim, but won't drop in.
But we were watching him in practice, Brooke and I, and you know so many big men who struggle with form and sort of is the ball almost too small on their hand to shoot free throws. I mean, he looks very comfortable there.
Even look at the bounce feed and a kick.
Let's take a look at this a little bit slow. And it's not bad form, right? And it's what happens. It hits the back of the rim and it's soft, right? It's bouncing. It's giving himself an opportunity to have that go down.
Dustin and Willis will bat that out of play. SFA will keep it here. Again, 28 wins, an NCAA tournament appearance last year. And another whistle.
And Derek Willis making another defensive play. I have to say, and I asked this to John Calipari yesterday. I said, is it night and day defensively for Derek Willis from his first year here at Kentucky to now? And he said, night and day.
Charles with his third foul for Stephen F. Austin.
You know, some of that is Derek just saying, you know what, if I don't guard, I'm not going to play.
He had some spectacular moments in the first half. Briscoe trying to wriggle free underneath. Went for the save, and they turn it over. 9:46 remaining.
What's your take, Dave? What do you like about Kentucky that you've seen?
Well, there's no denying the athleticism is off the charts, right? And what I've kind of been impressed with tonight is some of the perimeter shooting in the second half and the willingness to do that. I didn't think they'd be a great perimeter shooting team coming in, but if they get any of that at all, along with the way they can, you know, rim run all night, forget it.
I like that Briscoe, who misses a couple of jump shots in the first half. You know, he ran the floor early in this half. There was no hesitation.
Technical here will put Kentucky at the line. And now Bam with a misfire.
Checking in for SFA is number 11, Ivan Canet.
71-48. SFA to check it in here inside the last 10 minutes. Augustin running the point now for Kyle Keller, the first-year head coach.
Kentucky goes at 2-2-1 back into their 2-3 defense. Now time to start working on stuff you might want to show in the next couple of games.
Now, Canet got hit with 7 on the shot clock, and Gabriel with his second foul.
That's his second and the team's second.
And so Canet will be at the line, the junior out of Lake Worth, Florida.
Canet at the line for 1 and a bonus.
So he's shooting a 1-and-1. The Lumberjacks chosen to finish behind Sam Houston State in the Southland Conference. It's unusual for them not to be picked as the top dog.
Yeah, no doubt. People around the program, you know, talk about not only Brad Underwood's tenure, but Danny Casper's tenure at SFA, sort of establishing that culture of winning.
Fox on the spin move, in close, can't get it to go, but a whistle. And they're going to get Bam for another one. That's going to be his 4th.
So how about the crossover, back to the spin, takes the contact, no whistle, and you see Bam going over the back.
So 4 on Adebayo here is 2 points. And they are right now at the monitor. And it'll be Kennett back to the line.
Checking in for Kentucky is Humphries.
And Humphries will be back on as the freshman heads to the bench. He's been doing that a lot tonight.
Yes.
So Ivan Kennett shooting again and gets that one. He'll have another one coming. So the learning process underway. One of the most talented rookies in the country. He was named to the preseason All-SEC first team. So much is expected. He's on the outlet. Briscoe knocked right there to Fox. Around the back. Pretty pass. The jumper. Yes. Knocked in by Monk.
That's 11 assists, so 5 away from the Kentucky record. It really comes down to, is he going to be on the floor for the final 9 minutes?
And that one was the most stylish of all of them, perhaps. Amonen has it stripped. Here's Fox again. The outlet. Briscoe over the top. Monk. Oh, he can't get it on the slam attempt. That would have been spectacular. Augustin gives it up for Kennett. Coming up on 8.5 minutes remaining here at Kentucky. And a big lead for the Cats, the number 2 ranked team in the country. Shot clock to 9. Another turnover. They've had a ton of them tonight. Monk on the feed, and Briscoe draws the foul.
Let's see a little style from Mr. De'Aaron Fox. The only thing that would have made that pass better is if he was looking at the rim, right? He almost, I bet you if he made that behind the back wraparound with his right hand, he wouldn't have had a look. Because it was with his left, he looked. He peeked a little bit. We're not complaining, Mr. Fox.
Well, he's had an impressive night passing the basketball. Again, 11 assists.
And checking up for Kentucky is
Briscoe now working on a 17-point game back to the line. Willis going to the bench. He really got them rolling in the first half when he excelled on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I'm really impressed because you haven't seen the best from Monk. This guy could be an elite level scorer. Malik Monk, he's missed a dunk. I don't think we've seen the best from Sasha Kalia-Jones. I think Kalia-Jones has got tremendous upside.
6'10 freshman who got away from North Carolina in a timeout by Stephen F. Austin. 75-51, Kentucky with the big lead. Kentucky up 75-51, just over 8 minutes to go here in the second half. Defense has been impressive for the Cats.
Yeah, I think one of the things John Calipari does incredibly well is he always talks about habits with his guys, and he's referencing a lot of things, but championships are won with defensive habits. Derek Willis has had multiple blocks. I think we've seen Humphries go out of his area to block shots. That's a close on a teammate's man. And then how about Willis getting one that leads into transition? And the beauty of this team is whether it's Briscoe, who's the initial ball handler, or Monk or Fox, the southpaw, it doesn't matter who's got the ball first because the other 2 guys leak out and they can make plays.
He's all smiles, and he should be with 11 assists.
Oh, just so special. And I'm saying about that behind the back, he's doing it with he is a southpaw. So that left hand behind the back should have been the easy one for him.
Augustin on the penetration. Nice give there, and the stuff by Gilmore. So under 8 minutes to go here. Gilmore's had a nice night with 10 points, 5 out of 10 shooting. Fox trying to close in on that assist record. He's within 5, and the hook shot won't drop.
I still think, Dave, that as good as Humphries looks, one, he's 18 years of age, so his ceiling is high. there's still another level for me from a physical stamina, strength, sustained play that he can get to. And that's scary because he's good.
Fox again, the open floor, look away, and he's got himself another assist.
Wow.
And a spectacular one as Monk went airborne.
I tell you, his change of pace, his ability to be in control, keep his head up, survey the floor as he's navigating spaces. This kid is special.
Holyfield back in. He's playing with 4 fouls. Charles tiptoeing in, but he threw it away. Here's Briscoe. And he waits for everyone else to come. On the baseline, back for Humphries. Good open look, but he can't hit. On the outlet, off of Holyfield and out of play. So quick turnover, and they have 26 of those tonight.
Well, on the other side of this break, we're going to talk Champions Classic. Big test for the Kentucky Wildcats on the horizon. We'll talk about it.
When you start off a year playing the level of teams that you're playing, it's like the ultimate challenge. We're coming out of the gate playing freshmen and trying to beat Michigan State and New York. It's going to be a hard game for us, but it'll be a good test for us.
He likes those early tests, doesn't he? He won't back away from anybody with a recruiting class like that. Why would you?
Look at the number of top 100 recruits you'll get to see in the Champions Classic. 17 of the top 100. Remember Michigan State with the number 3 overall recruiting class? The questions about Duke and their health. Jason Tatum had some health issues, and Harry Giles. Very curious to see. The young man's had multiple knee surgeries. I know our own Seth Greenberg on Kentucky Pro Day said, does it ever come to a point where if you're Duke, do you consider Harry Giles' long-term future? Look at that navigation.
And he draws the foul on the elbow.
Do you consider Harry Giles and the fact that he's an NBA-level talent and maybe not play him at Duke, but I've been told by Duke people that there are no long-term concerns for Harry Giles physically.
But 2 torn ACLs are coming back from the second one. So it'll be Fox at the line.
There's an interesting quote today from Greg Oden. And he basically was referencing his 1 year at Ohio State and sort of rushing back. And the suggestion, I think, what he was trying to get to was, I so desperately wanted to play at Ohio State. I felt the pressure of people wanting me to play. And, he never sort of got healthy enough to be the impact player in the NBA.
It's just tough to know. And whether or not that would be the choice to make, we shall see. Fox with a double-double, 12 points and 12 assists. And again, he's within 4 of tying the Kentucky single-game assist record held by John Wall in 2009 of 16. Shot clock at 1. That one partially blocked. And so it'll be back over to Kentucky. 5:48 to go. 79-53.
You look at De'Aaron Fox's frame and you say, well, he's super skinny, his legs are skinny. Honestly, his frame's like John Wall's as well.
Monk tossed that one away. We're talking about all of the talent that John Calipari has brought in his tenure here at Kentucky. 28 Kentucky players have been drafted by the NBA since 2010. Just incredible. 18 of them freshmen. And 14 lottery picks since he arrived here in 09. And perhaps more on the way. Gilmore gets a look. Shot clock at 9. Kennett to the foul line. The jumper here by Cameron won't fall. Rebound picked off by Holyfield. And his pass is knocked away. Here come the Cats again. Monk lines up a long one. Big battle for the rebound, and a big fella goes down and takes a hit. Hey, tonight at 11 on the SEC ESPN Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. and watch ESPN. You can join SEC Now for all the SEC news of the day, college basketball highlights, and the football previews for the weekend. Adebayo at the line, the freshman. Too strong there.
Checking in for Kentucky is Sasha Khalil-Jones.
Sasha Khalil-Jones will check in now. Another McDonald's All-American. He says one reason that he came to Kentucky, originally he had committed to Virginia, was because of the big growth spurts that he's had and the success that Cal has had with that kind of player.
You think about Anthony Davis. Those guys had huge growth spurts. And Anthony Davis, I feel so bad for the guy. He's averaging like 35 and 11 and can't win a game in the NBA because they're down their top 1, 2, and 3 position players. No point guard, no two guard, and no small forward.
Well, the whistle and a foul with 4:34 remaining. And the foul will go against Holyfield. That's going to be his 5th. He's been in foul trouble most of the night. A key man if they were going to have any chance at a mammoth upset. He fouls out with 5 points. Getting a little counseling from the first-year head coach, Kyle Keller. Figures to have another good team. And Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, he was telling us, you could tell how confident he is about this team's ability to be successful in conference and how much different they'll look come January once he's had some guys be able to go full go in practice.
And of course, this is his first year as the head coach for SFA, but he inherits a program that's had a lot of success and should continue to have a lot of success. 82-55. Kinnett with a jumper. Too strong. That didn't touch anything. Rebound comes to Bain, and that one's stuffed. Sasha right there. On the run. Tipped up high and taken away by the Lumberjacks. Cameron pushing the tempo. Bain from the corner. And a rebound followed up and in by Grujic, the 7-footer. Under 4 minutes to go now in this contest. 82-57. So Kentucky on their way to their first victory of the season after winning 27 games this season ago. And going 13-5 in the SEC to win the conference for the 47th time in the amazing history of this program.
All-time winningest program in college basketball history. What are they at now after this? This will be 2,206.
Now Briscoe to walk it up. Top returning player for Kentucky. On the kick, they swing up top. Monk with the jumper. Nice touch, a two-pointer.
See how fast he goes from off the bounce to the release of the jump shot. That happens in an instant.
He has 10. And the jumper by Bain on the other end to make it 84-62. And now the bench is up and about ready to check in. So the subs will be taking over here in a minute, including Brad Calipari, the son of the head coach who turned 20 years old today. And he is a freshman.
He does have to go home to Mrs. Calipari.
Yes. Yes, there will be questions about playing time. We'll take the break. 2:25 left. And Kentucky sailing to an opening win. Opening night at Kentucky, and the Cats with an 84-62 lead over Stephen F. Austin. Doris Burke and David O'Brien with you. And I got to ask you about the freshman and how impressed you've been. I've heard a lot of it tonight, but 12 assists in his very first college game. Fox was sensational.
I think this team's going to be an awful lot of fun to watch. And the guy with the ball in his hands is going to be De'Aaron Fox, and he's proving early to be a master. Listen, he's got unbelievable speed, get-by ability. They'll put him off some high screens. Look at the adjustments, the floaters. He's made a couple of moves. This is my favorite. That ability to split defenders in a tight space and throw it up and let your teammate go get it. How about the rifle pass, making your teammate's job so easy? Humphries has just got to finish. What a pleasure it is to watch De'Aaron Fox play basketball.
Briscoe, by the way, with 17 points. Willis with 15, also 5 rebounds. Malik Monk had 10 points, at least to this point, 10 for Wenyen Gabriel as well. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Kentucky players in double figures.
And guys who have taken huge steps. I mean, it's nice to see Derek Willis have some success. You know, get to put his shoulders back, play confidently. Humphries, I thought, was terrific. We are 2 minutes and 12 seconds from watching Antoine Walker give us a little shake.
A little shimmy shake. I think he promised. I think that's what I heard in the studio at halftime.
Pretty sure he said, when Kentucky wins,
right.
I'll give you the shimmy.
Only if the Cats win. And up here, 85-62 in Lexington.
I think the more entertaining thing might be to see Dane give you the shimmy.
Yeah, I would pay to see that. Under 2 minutes. Harris back to Augusta, the freshman point guard. And Bridge will draw the foul as he flipped it up there with 1:50 left. And Kentucky about to go to 95-19 all time in season openers, and they've never lost a season opener under Coach Cal.
Hall of Fame now for Coach Calipari. Who I think for a long time underrated as a tactician. You know, when you get as much talent as he does, it can be easy to overlook the kinds of things he does.
You were watching him at the workout today, and you commented afterwards how good he is at reads.
Yeah. You know, he's
seeing
just,
everything.
Right. He's basically giving his guys thinking plays ahead, anticipating.
This will go back over to the Cats here with 1:39 to go, and coming up next, Northwestern State against Texas A&M. It is on the way as soon as we finish up here.
Billy Kennedy not making any promises. Last year he was smart. He had the 4 seniors and he guaranteed an NCAA berth.
Calipari deep in the corner there. He scored 1,000 points in high school. And knocked out a play, and Kentucky will keep it.
You know, I think people would think, oh, you know, he's probably had it easy. I don't think it has necessarily been easy. I like the fact that the young man went away to a boarding school. It gave him a little space, could work on his game. I don't think it's an easy choice to come here.
He does want to coach one day.
Yes, right. I like how the young man handles himself.
5 to get off a shot. Mulder forced that one up there. He had to, and right in front of the shot clock buzzer, he knocks in a 2.
Dave, he's got pretty form.
He has 8 points. 87-62, under a minute to go. Kinnett with the feed underneath. Niemanen tried the other side of the iron. Well defended. We've said that a lot tonight when they have gone up against Kentucky on the interior. They have often been shut down. So the fans will be filing out of famous Rupp Arena very happily here tonight after another season opener going Kentucky's way, which is par for the course. 87-62. Augustin on the drive for a bucket.
Basket by Augustin.
So the Cats will not hit 100 points tonight in the opener, but they've got 87, at least to this point. And they got an outstanding effort from Fox, the young point guard. How about that? A Kentucky point guard showing off a little bit of skill tonight. And that'll be the final score. John Calipari in Kentucky with the victory. 87-64, the final score. Briscoe is very, very good tonight. So is Derek Willis. And so is Isaac Humphries in particular. College basketball action continues. Northwestern State and Texas A&M. First, we send you to the studio.